beautiful lady Sunshine is here with Puppy DeGroat, or married to Puppy DeGroat, right? Yeah, and they describe themselves as outlaws doing what we believe is right, they say. Sunshine says that Puppy is definitely the boss in their relationship. Debbie Ullman is the art director for Outlaw Biker magazine. She's also a freelance photographer, does everything from girly ads in Outlaw magazine to photographing biker rallies. Now, Debbie's husband, Little Steve, makes some of the custom bikes, the beautiful custom bikes that you see in our studio today at his custom bike shop in Belmore, New York. Debbie, what's a nice college graduate like you, so pretty, so petite, doing tattooed in the first place, and are you married to Little Steve?
We're not married, no. We've been together about 1.5 years. We're not married yet.
Well, what do your folks say when they see this nice, again, all those things, attractive graduate of NYU hanging out with bikers?
Well, I'm sure they'd wish I would rather be with, lawyers or doctors, but, whatever makes me happy basically makes them happy, which is, they're real open to whatever I do. And at first when I did start riding myself, they were really worried, but now it's just like, as long as I'm legal and safe, they,
Do they worry about your safety?
Yeah, they do.
What was the attraction? Now, I'm not going to say anything to put down Little Steve. A good-looking guy, certainly a talented person. These motorcycles that he's customized indicates that. But I look at his hands, a ring on every finger, those great big motorcycle boots, the long... Now, what was there about Little Steve that attracted you?
Well, first, of course, it was looks. I was in a bar down at Bike Week photographing, and, I just saw him. I thought he was real cute, and just hung around, started talking to him. We left, we went somewhere else, and we haven't been apart since. And, it's not, it's first what attracts you to bikers in general. Because, you have the same interests as someone else, and you hang out in the same places that they do, and that's how you meet people, with the same interests. And, biking's, it's just, some people, you first get on a bike and you just never get off. And, there's a lot I really like about bikers, mostly just how perceptive they are to everything around them. When you ride a bike, you are so aware of everything because you're using all of your senses. When you're in a car, it's like being in a fish tank, being in a TV.
I thought they were going to pop your
Look at
mom
our
up.
friend Puppy there. He's a definitely an unusual looking guy. Honestly. When you see a biker like that, you've seen them before, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Tattooed and with their leather. Do they scare you a little bit?
Oh, as long as they're doing their thing, I'm doing mine.
Right.
I wouldn't want to ride a bike, but if they want to ride a bike, that's their privilege.
When they come clunking down, let me ask this gentleman. When they come clunking down with those big heavy boots, don't they scare you?
Yes, they do. Sure do. When they're all, they ride in clumps instead of by themselves. If they were by themselves, maybe I wouldn't be so scared. But when they're all in a clump, yeah, sure.
Clumps.
All right. Now, and I think, Sunshine, I think that most people, because maybe it's the image of the Hells Angels or the outlaw biker from films or newsreels or whatever it is, but most people, when they see people who look like your husband, are a little taken aback at the very least. What is it? I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Debbie. What was it about Puppy that really captured your heart?
His honesty. A lot of citizens that I've met, they'll tell you one thing, but they really feel something else.
Is citizen your term for non-biker?
Yeah, in most cases. Now, there's a lot of what people who would call a citizen who ride motorcycles. Not all of them wear black leather and long hair and the whole bit. But they're not honest. They'll tell you one thing, and they'll get away from you, and they'll say the opposite.
Now,
a biker will tell you exactly how he feels.
I had a long relationship, even a friendship even, with a guy who was the president of the Hells Angels in New York, a guy named Sandy Alexander, years and years ago. So I got to see the domestic life of the outlaw, the epitome of the outlaw biking club. And one of the things that always was off-putting to me, it seemed very unusual, was the fact that the men totally dominated. Even then, in the 70s, in the midst of the women's liberation movement and everything else that was happening, the guys dominated. Well, let me just ask you, does Puppy rule your roost?
He's the main boss. If he thinks that I might not feel the same way about something, we'll sit down and talk about it. Or if something's bothering one of us, we'll sit down and talk about it. Now, there might be a chance that he'll still say, okay, even though you disagree, we're going to do it my way. But at least in our relationship, there can only be one main person who has the say. Otherwise, you end up arguing.
So he's the boss.
He's the boss.
Isn't that chauvinistic?
Yeah, to a certain percent it is.
Now, one of the things I remember about those days being near the angels was that the men weren't terribly faithful to their wives, although the wives themselves had to be extremely faithful really at their peril. Is that what it's like in your marriage?
No, exactly the opposite. Neither one of us are jealous of the other one. We both have total trust in the other one. A lot of people disagree with our relationship because if he wants to go out with somebody else, it's up to him. I'm not afraid of losing him to anybody, as long as we tell each other beforehand and don't do it behind each other's back. It's when you're afraid of losing your partner that you have to go behind their back and not let them know about
Puppy,
it.
is she telling us that you would allow her to date another person and you would allow it to happen?
Sure. I'm not insecure. I'm not worried about it.
Well, I guess
She's coming
from
back.
your appearance, whoever had the audacity to go up to your bride
I'll tell you.
might have his head examined. But we'll hear much more from this interesting couple, all these couples.